Welcome to LC Screen Talk. My name is Larry, and today we're talking movie crushes. Last year, I did a part 1 for this video during my Don't Stop December campaign then, in which I pretty much did like round 1 of my movie crushes. So if you are wondering why people like Zac Efron, Margot Robbie, and Chris Hemsworth are not included on this list, go ahead and click that link down below, because I won't be doing any repeat choices. So if they were mentioned in my last movie crushes video, they will not be showing up here. However, if they were part of just like that quick honorable mention spot that I did, or their picture was just quickly flashed up in conjunction with somebody else, they may just show up in this list. So being this perpetually single person all the time, I have a lot of time to think about these very, very attractive celebrities. And over the years, maybe I've gotten one too many crushes on these actors and actresses. So today I'm just gonna talk about some of the actors and actresses that have really caught my attention, and a little bit of insight on where that crush originated from. And we're just gonna go ahead and start off with Jason Momoa. So this crush has definitely intensified this year. I actually met Jason Momoa at a Comic-Con earlier this year. Whew. But really it started amping up when they released that trailer for the Justice League. That scene where he's like halfway in the water probably should have melted all of those ice caps that are around him. I mean, seriously? But my first big exposure to Jason Momoa was in the series Game of Thrones, but his character was kind of off-putting to start there. But it's just so refreshing to have this super attractive like sex symbol from a group of people that don't have very much representation. And trust me, I'm not the only one who has a crush on this ruggedly handsome man. So we're gonna go from like wild man Pacific Islander sexy to girl next door sexy with Blake Lively. What is there really to say about Blake Lively? She's just really, really pretty. And although I think she's pretty much gorgeous, she still has an attainable pretty. She still seems like a friendly person, like an approachable person, like somebody you could actually meet and become friends with. And that just adds to all of the sex appeal. Plus I love watching her banter back and forth with Ryan Reynolds on Twitter. Just shows like the amazing sense of humor she has. But whew, this is gonna sound a little bit ridiculous, but my first real like aha moment with Blake Lively of just how attractive she was The Age of Adeline. I know she had done so much before then, but I was just like awestruck that entire movie. I think it might have bumped my enjoyment of that movie up a couple levels just because she was so distractingly pretty. Next up, I have someone who I think is possibly my favorite actor working right now, and that is Jake Gyllenhaal. First of all, those eyes are just like, whoa, so intense and so beautiful. But when you add his like baby face, adorable good looks with his amazing talent, his acceptance and his openness, obviously starting with like Brokeback Mountain, of the LGBT community, it's just a recipe for hotness. And while I noticed Jake Gyllenhaal for his talent and his roles way long ago with things like Bubble Boy and then like Donnie Darko, there was no real attraction there at all. I think I really started to understand his sexiness with Jarhead. I didn't watch Brokeback Mountain until a little bit later in life. It probably would have started there if I had seen it younger, but it definitely started with something like Jarhead. And next up, I'm gonna go with somebody else that I've mentioned and was briefly flashed up on the screen in my last video, but I've talked about him quite a bit this year, and that's Andrew Garfield. Because this is another person who has been very open, very accepting, and a wonderful advocate with the LGBT community, especially over the past year. I just think Andrew Garfield is so attractive, even when he's not trying to be, like, at all. In Hacksaw Ridge, I was like distracted at how good looking he was, and it kind of happened earlier this year as well with Breathe. I was just like, oh my gosh, you're just so good looking. Why? How? And he's like awkward good looking. He's like funny, fun, again, another approachable person that you feel like you could know so easily. And then he comes out and does like lip syncs of Whitney Houston at drag shows. Between that and like kissing Ryan Reynolds, it's just like, it's over, it's done. He had to be on the list. So next up on my list is Tessa Thompson. Now this was pretty much solidified, like set in stone, when I just watched Thor Ragnarok. Because she had such a badass sexiness about her in that film. But I really first took note of her when I was watching Dear White People. Not only was she really funny, and also badass in that film, but she's just gorgeous. She's like a strikingly gorgeous person. And when you add that like roughness and that little bit of edge, what? Yes. Yes, please. Next up, I'm going to talk about pretty all-American boy, Chris Evans. Now, Chris Evans, I first noticed in Not Another Teen Movie because that banana split scene, hello? But I don't think Chris Evans ever fully realizes his sexiness until Captain America, a role that isn't inherently sexy, but is undeniably sexy. And the filmmakers know it too. That's why they put those like clingy sweatpants on him, the shirtless scenes, the like bulging muscle scenes, ripping wood in half. I mean, come on. They know what they're doing. And it's just made him into like this gorgeous being. And with that blonde hair, I think he looks way better than he does in any other role. It's really Chris Evans as Captain America that does it for me the most. But, I mean, he's an attractive guy all the way around. The same kind of goes for Gal Gadot. I first took note of Gal Gadot when she was in the Fast and Furious series, but she was a very minor role. She didn't really speak much in any of those films. She kind of was just there as like this sexy, badass girlfriend in the background. But I don't think Gal Gadot fully fell in and realized her sexiness until Wonder Woman this year. And it's everything about her as Wonder Woman that is just so attractive, that it's undeniable. She beams off of the screen. Not only is she insanely gorgeous, as is pretty undeniable, I think, but that mix of awesome action heroine with sincerity just makes her so sexy. And we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about her Justice League co-star, Henry Cavill. Like Chris Evans, he kind of has an all-American look, but I think he rocks facial hair actually really, really well. Which actually usually isn't that big of a preference in my book, if I'm being honest. But from the bod, to the face, heck, to the voice, I think Henry Cavill is just attractive, head to toe, good looking, all the time. Except maybe when Warner Brothers is like digitally messing with his face. And actually it was kind of a testament to how good looking he actually is, because that's one of the first things I noticed. I was just like, wait a minute. Henry Cavill's way more attractive than this. Why does his face look so strange right now? So I'm going to talk about one of Henry Cavill's formal co-stars next, and that's Armie Hammer. So as we are gearing up for Call Me By Your Name, the big Oscar contender of the year, the big LGBT film of the year, Armie Hammer is just like Ken doll perfection. Him and Matt Bomer kind of both share in that Ken doll territory, but he seems very debonair, very sophisticated all the time, and sometimes he gets a little bit douchey looking, I'll admit it, but hey, who says a douchebag can't be hot anyway? Plus, he usually does come through with a friendly personality, with a lovely smile, so put him in an LGBT film, I'm down. Up next, I want to talk about Mbatha-Raw. First of all, I think she's such an underrated actress. I also think she's such an underrated beauty because she's gorgeous. So I first noticed her in Belle. I thought she looked gorgeous there. And then when she went on to do Beyond the Lights, are you kidding? And then literally every subsequent film. Even when she's in something like Miss Sloane, where she's always very natural, just kind of like hair pulled up. It's not a lot of glitz and glam. She is such a natural, just knockout. I think she is stunning, and I think Hollywood needs to take note to not only what a great actress she is, but the fact that she could be a leading lady. She has it all, Hollywood. The acting chops, the like warmth, plus any excuse to get this beautiful face on screen more. I'm on board. If you know me, you know I love Star Wars, and they have definitely helped increase the heartthrob status of Oscar Isaac by putting him in Poe Dameron's awesome role in the latest Star Wars trilogy. I think Oscar Isaac is like such a unique but strong beauty. First of all, it's just wonderful to have a Hispanic man out there with leading man status and good looks, and again, talent, who often goes underappreciated. But I've thought Oscar Isaac is super attractive for years. From that smile to his smolder, it all just works. You know who else has an interesting look that just works? Mila Kunis. So like most people, I was introduced to Mila Kunis on that 70s show. And like her character was supposed to, she was definitely the one that drew the eye. But everything she's in, from Friends with Benefits to Black Swan to the Bad Moms films, I think everything from Mila Kunis, to her kind of interesting face, to that huskier kind of unique voice, it's all just sexy. And now for just a quick lightning round to close out this video, I want to talk about some people who haven't quite been in enough for me to like really hammer down and cement their sex appeal status. I mean, but really, I have a crush on him. Yeah, Alexandra Daddario, those eyes. Those eyes. Brenton Thwaites, people can hate all they want, but he is freaking adorable. Super attractive. Tom Holland, yes, he is 21 years old. It's okay to have a crush on him. And, okay, I do. Nina Dobrev, if she continues to be in films, she is definitely on this list because she's smoking hot. It's just, she's mostly a TV star at this point. Taron Egerton, at least you got to look at him during that underwhelming Kingsman sequel, right? And trust me, I have many more celebrity crushes. Hollywood is full of very, very, very attractive people. And let's be real, I'll probably still be single come December next year. So, we'll leave the rest for another video, shall we? But those are some of my biggest movie crushes. If you haven't already, like I said, go ahead and watch that video from last year to see some other sexy people who didn't make this video. But also, what do you think of those that I listed here? And who are some of your biggest crushes from film? Let me know either in the comment section down below, or you can hit me up on Twitter. I love you all so much for your support. Mwah. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!